In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the price action, or rather the technical analysis of Avax, and Bitcoin. So obviously, Avax has been doing very well because it has been pushing. And to be honest with you, I really believe that Avax is going to be a very good, solid trade for the next coming few days because the technicals are absolutely screaming that it is about to do very well. And this is something that we're going to dive into. So before we take a look at Zilliqa and Avax, plus also going to talk about some other cryptocurrencies that might be potentially, lucrative in the long run. So getting back to Bitcoin, right? Obviously, the price of Bitcoin has been flip-flopping, and it's been hard to trade for a lot of people. But as far as I'm concerned, because I really love using the 3 day time frame, just like I told you yesterday, right? The 3 day time frame is a very well balanced time frame in order for you to keep your biases in check. And this is one of the reasons why I am absolutely, waiting for the correction to done. So please do not get me wrong. I really believe that we are obviously gearing towards a very phenomenal uptrend, but just like right, the markets are made up of ups and downs, and this is one of the reasons why I'm expecting a little bit of more downside and potentially finding support here before we continue going up. So I expect the whole lot of the next 7 days to be slightly bearish and not so bullish as far as in getting to enjoy those upward momentum peaks and valleys are concerned. So this is one of the reasons why I am really, really very cautious, and I am taking my time. I'm very, very careful because I understand the pain that one gets to feel, especially when the markets are really, really going in the direction you didn't anticipate. So more of the story is, of course, dollar cost average, but expect a little bit of downtime and expect a lot of these altcoins to slightly reduce in value. So what has been happening for the past few days? So if you take a look at this, right, we are having a liquidity sort of grab, or we are sort of, being rejected here because this is a very good area of interest from the past, and this is where we fell off of a cliff. So remember, there's a lot of institutional selling that was done here. So as we are gearing up, right, to go to higher prices, obviously there's going to be a little bit of resistance, and this is going to be a factor. So in order for us to break above this particular area of resistance, right, best believe that we are going to sort of go back and forth until one of the bears, is it either the bears or the bulls, definitely makes a bold decision. So this is one of the reasons why I'm not even trying to rush, and due to the fact that we have had a very long period of upward momentum. I mean, we've been having upward momentum since January. We have had a very consecutive and decisive uptrend. So in case we happen to have a little bit of downside, it is all part of a correction, and it is absolutely healthy. So if you take a look at this, right, obviously you guys understand a thing or two about order blocks, right? So order blocks are basically these specific areas in the market where institutional players, by institutional players I mean people that have millions and millions of dollars, and they have the ability to influence and determine where the markets are guaranteed to go. So as you can see from this particular area with BTC, right, obviously the institutional money was playing its role with regards to dumping. So whenever that happens, right, once we get back to hit this order block, right, we are obviously going to sort of expect a reaction, and usually 7 times out of 10, right, there's going to be some sort of pullback. There's going to be a reaction towards the downside, especially if you were gearing up. It's just one of those things that usually happens in markets. So from here, where am I expecting the prices to go, and how am I expecting this to play out? So take a look at this. We also have another area of value right over here. So this is the area where we are most likely bound to find a little bit of support, because we have institutional players coming through. So this is what usually happens. So when it comes to trading, right, you have to have two areas that you are specifically looking at. So in this particular trajectory, as far as this move is concerned, right, the areas of interest are this area and area number 2 right over here. So let me just slightly change the color so that you guys get to understand what I'm talking about, right? So there's that area, and there's also this area that I have indicated in yellow. So these are the places where you should expect the prices to sort of have a lot of action, reaction, and potentially an eye opener of what is going to happen. So due to the fact that we pushed up towards this particular area, right, we obviously ended up hitting these order blocks, and we are facing a little bit of rejection. So therefore, the most appropriate thing to happen, of course, the markets are very different, right? The most expected thing to happen as far as technical analysis is concerned, right, is for the price to obviously eventually come back down to this area corresponding to this order block right over here. And if you take a look at this order block, right, and a lot of you might be asking, why do I think this order block is sort of important? Well, because we faced a lot of reaction when it comes to this order block right over here. So reaction 1, which is here, okay, reaction 2, after bypassing that order block, we came back down, and then finally we blasted through. So of course this order block has been overcome. It has been how can I put it, it has been gotten rid of, so the most logical thing to happen after hitting this next area of interest, especially this order block, is we're going to have to come back down and defend this particular order block. So basically, the institutional money that was here, that was so significant that it really caused the price to go down, right? We had to have some more momentum in order for us to buy everything that was sold over here. So the price had to go back down, gather some momentum, and get to defeat this particular order block. So this is one of the reasons why there is a very high chance that in the near future, the price is obviously going to come back down and come back to this particular order block. So let me just get rid of all of these shapes and colors that I have put so that you guys can have a better perspective. So if we had to zoom in on this particular order block, because I really want to decipher and get to understand this order block so that I can really have a clear picture of what I'm looking at. So right now, we are on the 3-day time frame. So let's just go to a smaller time frame such as the 8 hours so that we can get to understand it better. So this is the order block. So let me just go back to the 3-day time frame. Okay, so let me just indicate it, and let me just circle it like that, right there. Okay, then I go back to the 8-hour time frame. Then I'm trying to locate it. Okay, so as I zoom in, right, I'm going to understand where the order block really matters and which one is very significant so that I can extend it to the future. So if you take a look at this order block, this doji right over here, this is the doji that really played a key role. So let me just get rid of this. Let me delete that. Okay, so you guys understand the order block that I'm talking about and why it is very important. So this is going to be our extended line of resistance because we fell off of a cliff from it. So let me just extend it, and now that we defeated it, right, it's obviously going to be our area of support because resistance turns into support. So this is one of the reasons why in the future we are going to use it as a basis of having a very positive, high probable trade. So this is one of the reasons why I really believe that this is going to be a very great area where we are going to definitely find a very good support level and make our next play. So I was just trying to do that as quickly as I can. Okay, so you guys remember where this line is coming from. Yeah, if only I can get to. Yeah. Okay, let me just do that. Okay. So as I extend it, right, do you see the role this particular order block is playing? It's playing a very key significant role. I mean, we obviously had to zoom in and find this particular order block. So if you take a look at this, right, before obviously before blasting through this resistance, right, from this order block, the price had to interact with it on a number of times. Do you see that? That was the first interaction, and instantly it got rejected. We got rejected, and then we gathered some steam, and we broke above it. So breaking above it is sort of decisively defeating it. But when you break above it, since there's a lot of institutional selling that was going on, right? Obviously, the markets are going to be a little bit weakened. So this is one of the reasons why the price had to come back down here, because this particular area had a lot of stop losses. So this was obviously a stop loss hunting area as far as the cryptocurrency exchanges are concerned. So understand what is happening from an institutional buying point of view and from an exchange point of, from an exchange point of view as far as them being profitable. So this is one of the reasons why it's very important for you to understand where the institutional money is and how the exchanges are planning to trigger a lot of stop losses and just basically grab the liquidity. This is one of the reasons why obviously a lot of people happen to be unsuccessful traders, because there's a lot of things that you have to consider before you sort of get to understand what exactly is happening with regards to the charts. So that is basically what happened. So this particular move over here was nothing but a stop loss hunt, liquidity level type of game. And this is one of the reasons why ever since this stop loss hunting happened here, right, and there were sort of the liquidity grab happened, it really came with a lot of momentum and with a lot of power. And this is one of the reasons why now we are at the end of this particular move right over here. So what is happening right now is we are having this stop loss hunting phase again, because a lot of people who were shorting around this particular area, right, a lot of people who had conditional short plays right over here, right, a lot of them have been stuck in this trade right over here. And what is happening is a lot of people are over leveraged as far as longing the markets is concerned. So this is one of the reasons why everybody's going to get wrecked. Whether you're shorting or longing, you're going to, sort of lose your money, especially if you are using leverage. And this is one of the reasons why we are obviously going to slightly come back down and use this particular order block as a form of support. So this is how the game is going to happen. And of course, if you guys have got enough patience, and I really believe this is going to happen probably in the next 2 weeks maximum. 2 weeks by the 14th of May, right? This move is going to play out. And then from here, we are most likely going to super pump and we're going to go above 32,000 US dollars. And I really think the next area of resistance, once that particular play happens, is going to be going for this particular liquidity level right over here, because we do have some order blocks right over here. We also have another order block right over here. So this is how it's going to happen. So eventually, in the next coming 2 weeks, the price is going to retrace and probably go back below 25,000 US dollars, or slightly below. Maybe it might go to 23,000 US dollars etc, because we're going to retest this particular order block. And once that happens, right, there's going to be a lot of buying power which is going to occur, and we're going to take out this particular level right over here. So this level is going to be overtaken because there's a lot of liquidity. There's a lot of people who've got stop losses, like all the people who are shorting here, right? Once they get triggered out, they're going to cut off their stop losses around this particular level, which is around 32,500 US dollars. So this is one of the reasons why you should look out for that. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the price to eventually slowly crash to about 25,000 US dollars or below. then push it up all the way to 32,000, maybe 500. We're going to clear this out immediately. We're going to do what we did right over here. Do you see these wicks right over here? These wicks were triggering the stop losses that were being determined from this particular trading action right over here. So once that happens, obviously the price is going to go back down a little bit and then use this order block as support and then propel itself to the next level, which is going to be close to 40,000 US dollars. That is definitely what is going to happen. So more of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is right now, if you are eyeing a lot of alternative cryptocurrencies such as Zilliqa, Avax, and so many more, right? Just be patient with it. Of course, you do not want to miss the trades. So this is one of the reasons why you have to dollar cost average. So what I'm doing right now, as far as Zilliqa is concerned, is I'm slightly buying bit by bit, So let's say, for example, you've got like $100, right? You can use $5 to purchase a little bit of ZIL at this particular price. $5. Every time the price drops by about 6 to 10%, you include another $5 in your overall trade. However, this is definitely going to be a very, very profitable next 3 months. I really believe the next 3 months are going to be very profitable as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned. So as you can see, right now, the price of Bitcoin is obviously going to 29,000 US dollars, and a lot of people are going to be jumping back in. But this is a very great opportunity for you to get out of your trades for those who are still in trades, because the price is obviously not going to be going up for a very long period of time. So maybe we might go to 30,000 US dollars, but I really believe 29,500 to around 30,000 US dollars is going to be a very good area to get out of your trade if you guys happen to have had bought a little bit of coins yesterday. So personally, I don't even want to be short-minded. I'm not even going to be trading this. I'm just going to let it do its thing, because you guys obviously because for me it doesn't really matter. It's not really that lucrative, because if I look at the risk to reward ratio, right, it's not really that appealing to me. So these areas, this is where I'm expecting the price of Bitcoin to sort of face rejection. So between 29,700 or 29,500 all the way up to around 30,500. So I would be looking for a decisive rejection right over here, and we're going to go back below this particular level. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So am I going to be shorting the markets? Hell no. I'm not going to be shorting these markets, because these markets are absolutely bullish. So you don't want to be shorting, especially when all the other time frames are very, very bullish. So if you look at the other time frames of Bitcoin, right? If you look at the weekly time frame of Bitcoin, it's absolutely bullish. It has been decisively bullish. And if you look at the monthly time frame, right? Look at the 1 month. It's just starting. It's just starting. So getting to short here is obviously going to be something which you do not want to do. And by the way, if you take a look at this, right? If you look at the monthly perspective of Bitcoin, you are obviously going to understand that there are quite a number of order blocks that we are going to be hitting in order for us to retest. So there's that order block right over there, which is close to 50,000 US dollars. Okay. And then if we want to, this is the overall order block, so potentially in the next coming 6 months or something, we might potentially hit 50,000 US dollars. That wouldn't be in a realm of impossibilities as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So let me go to another time frame so we can have like this 3D view of the market. So the other order block that I'm really expecting the prices to hit is obviously this one right over here. Do you see this doji right here? This is a very important doji as far as the institutional money is concerned. So this is one of the reasons why eventually I really believe that the price of Bitcoin is going to hit close to 42,000 US dollars before we can go lower. So remember, a lot of people are expecting the prices to go below 16,000 US dollars, and personally I really believe that the real value for the bottom is obviously going to be between 6,000 US dollars to around 12,000 US dollars. Personally, I really believe the price is going to eventually drop below 9,000 US dollars, because that's where the absolute pain is with regards to the price of Bitcoin finding a bottom. So that's eventually going to happen whenever, but that's eventually going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen on this particular leg, which is going to start. No, I'm saying that's where Bitcoin is most likely going to bottom out, because we obviously had a very long accumulation phase, between 6,000 to around 12,000. So if you look at the overall chart of Bitcoin, right, we had a lot of accumulation here, 9,600 all the way to around 6,000. So this is where we are most definitely and most likely to bottom out. So I'm just going to be patient with it. Of course, I'm going to be trading. Whatever the market gives me, but I understand, like, eventually, once we get rid of these order blocks that I was talking about, right, once we get to retest them, best believe it's going to be a lot of pain. A lot of pain is going to happen. But from now to this particular order block, we have a whole lot. So right now, we're just facing a little bit of resistance, a little bit of minimal resistance here based on this particular order block, or rather these particular blocks right over here. So this is one of the reasons why we're going to eventually sort of come back down here. And if you look at the weekly time frame, right, it's a no-brainer. There's a lot of support here. There's a lot of support around 25,000 US dollars or below, between 22,500 all the way up to 25,000 US dollars. There's a whole lot of support. So, I wouldn't be rushing to buy and just go all in right now, because you might potentially lose a few pips with regards to maximizing your profit potential. So just be patient. If you guys are going to be trading, just be very quick. So as you can see right now, right, the price of Bitcoin is pushing towards the upside as we anticipated. So remember, I'm expecting the price of Bitcoin to face rejection between 29,500 US dollars all the way to around 30,500 US dollars. So I am expecting the prices of Bitcoin to reach this particular area and then sort of get rejected. So, if you are in a long right now, so wait for the price of Bitcoin at least to sort of hit these areas, 29,500 all the way up to 30,200. So remember, going to USDT and expect the prices to slightly reduce, then you can dollar cost average your altcoins. So coming back to Zilliqa, right? Zilliqa and Avax. A lot of these are beginning to gain momentum because the price of Bitcoin is going to our expected targets. So obviously, when Bitcoin is bullish, the altcoins usually follow in tandem as well, because they are sort of directly correlated to Bitcoin. This is one of the reasons why I'm expecting the prices of altcoins to slightly do better, but I'm not really going to be impressed. I'm not really going to be sort of anxious to see what they're going to do, because I know it's going to be short-lived, and the prices are obviously going to revert to being bearish, and all the gains are going to be evaporated. A lot of them are going to evaporate. So to me, it's not really worth it. But of course, if you want to just make a little bit of something for the day, that's absolutely fine. But I'm looking at the bigger picture, which is the prices of Bitcoin and the altcoins reducing a little bit more, because we need to retest these order blocks which are at the bottom. So Zilliqa and Avax, man, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging, and I'm not going to go all in right now, because I'm leaving a little bit of room for the downside. So Avax happens to be a very bullish one. I'm really bullish on Avax, even though Bitcoin is very, very Bitcoin is about to embark on a bearish journey. So if you look at the risk to reward ratio of Avax, I'm really loving it, and I really believe this is a very great area to sort of have an exponential push towards the upside. So once this particular downtrend is done, I'm expecting the price of Avax to sort of fluctuate and just accumulate, and then maybe slightly go down, then push up. Okay, so Avax is a very great trade. Zilliqa is a very great trade, even though Avax is already overvalued in comparison to my preference. So 5.8 billion US dollars is way too much for me, but there's absolutely more room for growth, and whatever you get, whatever the markets give you, you can always take them. So Avax is 491 million US dollars. That's the overall market cap, so there's way much more room for growth. Now the other thing that I wanted to talk about is obviously getting to look at the top gainers and the top losers for today. So the best performing cryptocurrencies have been Radix, XRD, and Render Token, RNDR, plus Bandcoin. I happen to be an OG when it comes to these markets. I've been around for a very long period of time, and I remember Band Protocol. So Band Protocol is similar to cryptocurrencies such as Kava. These are obviously DeFi data governance to sort of cryptocurrencies, or rather projects. So this is one of the reasons why I'm not so keen on it. But based on this, Band Protocol could potentially do very well, but I'm not very keen on it. And if you look at the market cap, right? The market cap of Band Protocol is only 239 million US dollars. That obviously gives a whole lot of room to grow in case it performs very well. And if you look at the overall portfolio, or rather the overall graph of Band Protocol for the past few years, I mean, it is in a very decisive accumulative phase. This looks like it's about to sort of do very well. But hey, I haven't been following Band Protocol. I don't really know what these guys have been up to, so I wouldn't recommend anybody to invest in it. But if you guys understand anything about band protocol, then maybe you might sort of just hang in there and see what's going to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Today I just wanted to give you my overall expectation of what the price of Bitcoin is potentially going to to do, and what we are expected and how we are expected to play the game. So this is my overall 2 week sort of analysis as far as Bitcoin is concerned, and I'm just going to be patient. One thing that I've learned about trading is it's all about patience. It's all about having like the broader perspective, because most of the times we really get infatuated with the daily, or rather the minute price action. A lot of times we look at the 4 hours, the 8 hours, but we forget about the bigger picture. If the price is going to go to 25,000 US dollars or below, why would you want to trade when the price is around 28,000 US dollars? Of course, in case you time it right, because trading is all about timing. Okay, if you bought yesterday's dip, right, when the price of Bitcoin was around 27,200, obviously right now you are in profit and you're doing very well. But what happens if you forget to sell once the price of Bitcoin goes to 29,500 or even 30,500? What happens if you forget to sell? So what's going to happen is all these gains that you have made, or the profit that you have made, is going to be erased, and then the price goes lower and goes to 25,000, or the outs do extremely bad because Bitcoin is going down, and then you're like, okay, was it worth it? So one thing that I have discovered is it's all about having the broader perspective, the bigger picture. Bigger time frames obviously outwork the smaller time frames. So you would rather, make trades based on the bigger time frames, such as the 3-day, the 1 week, and the 1 month, because if you are in sync with the bigger time frames, you're obviously going to overall outperform the market. So please refrain from infatuating yourselves with the smaller time frames. Stick with the bigger time frames. At least like that, you're going to sort of have minimal bias, and you're going to be laser focused with regards to the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is definitely what really matters. So this is all I had for you today. This was a little bit of a longer video, because I really wanted to explain to you guys the importance of institutional order blocks. A lot of you guys call it the institutional money, the big money, the money that really matters. That's what I really wanted to show you, and I really wanted you to understand that technical analysis is about understanding a story of how the sellers and the buyers react. So when it comes to the markets, right, the sellers, the buyers, and the exchanges, the market makers, they leave a trail behind, and you're able to analyze the emotions. You're able to understand who was doing what, So this is something that you guys have to be very infatuated with, so that you can get to understand what is going on and how you can properly evaluate the fair price, because trading is all about understanding the fair price of a particular asset. If you are able to understand that, okay, this is a fair price that I'm supposed to be getting in, or rather purchasing this particular asset at, why are you going to end up losing? So always find the fair price, always get to understand what all the players in the markets are doing, and a lot of traders are reactive, so when a trend is sort of starting, best believe the people who participate at the end of it, which is usually a lot of retail traders, a lot of them end up losing. But the market makers, they understand when to flip the trend and when the next trend is happening, and this is one of the reasons why they really influence the outcome, or basically how the market or the price action looks and where the markets are bound to go. So this is one of the reasons why it's very important for you to understand the fair value of whatever token or asset that you're about to purchase. So that's all I had for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very long one, but very educative. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I go by the name of Muna, aka Beyond 10x, and I've been around for a very long period of time. So I've been around since 2016. So one of the oldest videos that I have, I think, goes way back to about 5 years ago. So I'm an OG in this game. I've been around for the past 5 years. So why am I not super wealthy? I don't know. God obviously has some other plans for me. Plus, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So there's a lot of things that I need to learn, and the more I get to learn, the more I realize that I do not know anything. It's one of those things. The more you learn, the more you realize that your knowledge is insignificant. And this is one of the reasons why nowadays I just want to be humble. I have no idea what is happening, and I'm just trying to soak up all the information. So as you can see, the price of Bitcoin is now 29,800. It's probably going to go to 30,500, and from there, we're going to see a reaction, and it's going to be all Gucci. It's going to be all well. So yeah, as you can see right over here, we are beginning to react, and this is the area, the box of resistance that I'm expecting the price to finally hit and then come back down. So do what you have to do. Personally, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging in, and I'm going to take it easy, because I know eventually the price of Bitcoin is going to go very high. It's going to go close to 40,000 US dollars. So thank you. Hasta la vista. You guys have been amazing. And did you enjoy the free lecture on institutional order blocks? Did you love it? Did you find any any new stuff that you didn't know? So please let me know in the comment section below. If you want me to explain more on any particular aspect of what we talked about today, please let me know in the comment section below, because I really want my community to do very well. So take care, and God bless you.